Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. What we're seeing here is something truly intriguing in the NFL landscape, especially for us Commanders fans who have been eagerly watching the team try to find that perfect mix of youth, talent, and strategic moves to push us closer to a Super Bowl appearance. And trust me, the recent trade that Washington just pulled off is a game changer, not just for the team's immediate outlook, but for the division and the entire NFC East. So let's dive into the details because this is one of those moves that could define the next few seasons for us. Sources close to the organization have confirmed that the Commanders, who currently hold a 3-5 record and manage about $26 million in cap space, are finalizing a significant trade. They're acquiring Brian Thomas Jr., the explosive rookie wide receiver from the Jacksonville Jaguars, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. This isn't just a minor addition. It's a strategic move aimed at injecting youth and speed into the team's offensive arsenal. The Jaguars, on the other hand, are looking to free up around $5 million in cap space to help rebuild their pass rush, especially on the defensive line, as they've been struggling defensively, leaking an average of 22 points per game. Now Brian Thomas Jr. is a player who really stands out when you watch his film. As a rookie in 2025, he's already made a significant impact with 27 receptions for 365 yards and a touchdown, averaging an impressive 13.5 yards per catch and earning a solid 59.2 grade from PFF. His career stats are quite promising, with 114 receptions, over 600 yards and 11 touchdowns. But what truly sets him apart is his speed, running a blazing 4.33 40-yard dash, which surpasses the 4.45 time of other young receivers like Brown. That kind of speed projects to generate around 12% more big plays, which is huge for the Commanders' offense, especially when paired with a quarterback like Marcus Mariota, who's been developing chemistry with the young receiver. Let's not forget, the Jaguars are a team that's been facing skepticism about their rebuild, especially after extending Trevor Lawrence with a hefty deal worth around $50 million a year. Their odds for winning the Super Bowl are currently at plus 10-0, making them one of the long shots in the league. But they're betting on their youth, on players like Brian Thomas Jr., to develop into future stars. By moving him now, they're also managing their cap, which is set to rise by around $13 million, giving them flexibility to address other needs, especially on defense. So what does this mean for the Commanders? Well, it's pretty straightforward. By adding a dynamic, explosive receiver like Thomas Jr., they're significantly boosting their offensive firepower. The duo of Thomas Jr. and Jahan Dotson could combine for over 500 yards this season, creating mismatches against defenses and opening up more options for Mariota and the offensive scheme. With Thomas Jr.'s speed and ability to stretch the field, the Commanders will be able to attack defenses deep more frequently, which is something they've struggled with at times. This aligns well with their recent focus on improving their passing game, which has been a bit inconsistent but shows promise, especially with the right personnel. In terms of statistical projections, adding Thomas Jr. is expected to improve the Commanders' offensive efficiency, raising their ranking from around 18th to possibly into the top 10 in the league. That's a massive jump and could be the spark needed to turn close games into victories. When you look at their recent performances, especially with the emergence of players like Dotson and the potential of a healthier Curtis Samuel, this trade complements their overall strategy of building a versatile, explosive attack. Mariota, who has a passer rating of 85.2, benefits immensely from having a young speedster who can turn short passes into big gains. The chemistry between them is already showing signs of growth, and it's only going to get better as they gel more in the coming weeks. Now, speaking of the division, this move could give Washington a real edge against rivals like the Eagles, who currently sit at 6-2 and boast a secondary ranked around 72 from PFF. The Eagles are formidable, no doubt, especially in their secondary, but the Commanders' new threat on the outside could create mismatches and force them to adjust their coverage schemes. It's all about creating those mismatches and capitalizing on them, and with Thomas Jr.'s ability to stretch the field, the Commanders will be more dangerous than ever in their passing attack. This is a team that's still fighting to reach the playoffs, and every added weapon counts in those crucial late-season games. Furthermore, this trade echoes the broader trend in the NFL of teams investing in youth and speed to gain a competitive edge. Last season, we saw the rise of young stars making immediate impacts, and the Commanders are now following suit. Their recent moves, including the trade for Thomas Jr., mirror strategies used by playoff contenders who prioritize dynamic playmakers capable of changing the game in a flash. The hope is that Thomas Jr., with his minimal injury history in 2025, having played all 7 games he appeared in, will stay healthy and continue to develop into a primary target for Mariota and the offense as a whole. The combination of his speed, route running, and ability to make plays after the catch makes him a perfect fit for the Commanders' offensive philosophy. Looking ahead, this move also has implications for the team's outlook on the postseason. The odds for the Commanders to make a deep playoff run have been historically modest, but with this injection of youth and talent, they're certainly looking to elevate their game. If they can maintain consistency on offense, improve their third-down conversions, which have gone from 38% to an anticipated 48% with the addition of a weapon like Thomas Jr., and continue their solid defensive performance, especially in sacks, which are already in the top 10, they could be a real dark horse in the NFC. This move is part of a broader effort to build a team that's not just competitive, but also capable of making noise in January. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Commanders are building for the future, but they're also fighting for relevance right now. Their current record of 3-5 is not ideal, but with the talent infusion from this trade, they're positioning themselves to make a push, especially in a division that's become more unpredictable with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys. The NFC East has always been known for its competitive nature, and this move adds a new layer of excitement and strategic depth. The potential of this young duo, Thomas Jr. and Dotson working together, could be a nightmare for defenses trying to contain them. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Jaguars are betting big on their rebuild, but the question remains whether they'll be able to develop the talent they've accumulated and make a serious run in the future. Their odds are long, and their defense still needs work, especially on the D-line, which they're trying to rebuild with cap space freed up by this trade. But for Washington, this is a step forward, an aggressive move that shows they're serious about competing now and building something sustainable for the years to come. The infusion of youth and speed is exactly what they need to elevate their game and challenge the division's hierarchy. In conclusion, this trade is a clear statement that the Washington Commanders are investing in their future, but also aiming to make a splash this season. The combination of youth, speed, and strategic acumen could be the catalyst that propels them into the postseason and beyond. The move to acquire Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jaguars is more than just a personnel addition. It's a signal that the Commanders are serious about competing at the highest level, about pushing toward that Super Bowl dream that every fan here is clinging to. And for the Jaguars, it's a sign that they're still in a rebuilding phase, trying to develop their young talent and perhaps waiting for that breakout season. So fans, keep your eyes on this story because it's not just about one player or one game. It's about the future of the NFC East, about how teams are building their rosters, and about the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. The Commanders are making bold moves, and the NFL world will be watching closely to see how this all unfolds. Remember, the season is still long, and this trade might just be the spark that ignites a new chapter for Washington. Stay tuned, because I'll be right here with all the latest updates, analysis, and insights. The journey to the Super Bowl is still on, and with moves like this, who knows what's possible? The Commanders are definitely making a statement, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out in the coming weeks. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.